Welcome to Green Spring Gardens, a Fairfax County Park Authority historic property. I am Karen, a Green Spring Garden Extension Master Gardener from the class of 2014. Today I would like to take you on a tour of our National Witch Hazel collection along Witch Hazel Road. This is one of my favorite areas of Green Spring Gardens, especially because of all the witch hazels. And it always amazes me that there's over 100 witch hazels between here and the historic house grounds. The common witch hazel name comes from the Anglo-Saxon witch, spelled W-Y-C-H or W-I-C-H. It's the word for pliable or bendable, and also because the leaves resemble those of a hazelnut tree for the word hazel. So the twigs and branches of a witch hazel are very bendable and pliable, and in early America they were actually used as divining rods, which is another type of witching activity or dowsing activity to find water in the ground. Of course, they always found water in the ground because witch hazels love moist, well-drained soils, and they like full sun and partial shade. Witch hazel is from the genus Hamamelis, and that comes from the Greek words hama, meaning at the same time, and melon, meaning fruit or apple. And that's because it's one of the few trees in the North American area that has both the fruit and the flower on at the same time. So the different colors of the leaves in the fall, as well as the different colors in the flowers in the late winter and early spring, come from the different species and cultivars and hybrids of witch hazels that we grow here at Green Spring Gardens. As you can see here, we have good fall color in the leaves, and they different colors. We have the brownish red color or the yellow green color. They have gone from the spring and summer soft greens to these beautiful fall colors that just add wonders to your gardens, and they provide great variety in your fall landscape. So here we are in another spot of witch hazels along Witch Hazel Road, and it includes several different species, hybrids, cultivars, and as you can tell, they're all in different stages of leaf drop. The leaves begin to drop in the fall, and some lose all their leaves, others hold on to them to the very end of winter. But during this time, they're preparing for the blooming season. And the blooming season can go anywhere from October to late March. We have early bloomers, those are the fall October bloomers, and then we have our late winter bloomers that happen out in late March. In 1999, Green Spring Gardens was selected to be the home of the National Witch Hazel Collection by the American Association of Botanical Gardens and Arboretum. Hence, our Green Spring Garden logo and our Master Garden logo have a witch hazel leaf and flower on it. After today, you will know that whenever you come to visit. Our collection of witch hazels began in 1989 with a donation from the Chapel Square Garden Club of Annandale, Virginia, when they donated 6 witch hazels that were first planted near the old entrance and along the long border of our parking lot. We have over 200 witch hazels on our 32 acres here at Green Spring Gardens. And our witch hazel collection is now a part of the North American Plant Collections Consortium, which is part of the American Public Gardens Association. As you can see from the variety of witch hazels we've shown you so far, you can have a large shrub or small tree witch hazel. And here we have the natural form of the witch hazel, which is very horizontal in structure. They can be as wide as they are tall, between 5 and 20 feet. Some grow as large as 30 feet and have a more vase-like shape. As you just saw, The witch hazels work well in full sun, but they also work really well in dappled shade. Being an understory plant, they provide shelter for small animals and insects, and great cover for shady spring blooming flowers like crocus and hellebores. It works great with ground covers and our spring ephemerals. During the fall and winter, flies and small bees are the most common pollinators for the witch hazel. The witch hazel also provides seeds that burst out at this time of the year and provide food for the small mammals and birds that find winter habitat in its twiggy branches. So here we have a Japanese witch hazel that has a bloom on it, and the Chinese witch hazel with the leaves, and a cross between a Chinese and Japanese witch hazel is a Hamamelis intermedia. The color combinations of the witch hazel come from the petals as well as the cup-like calyx in the center. Here you can see the spider-like yellow color of the flower, and while we have all different colors that I named, there's also shades, and they can be red in the middle and blend out to a yellow, or a deep purple that blends into a yellow. Just beautiful combinations of colors on those dreary winter days that make Green Spring Gardens just sparkle. Here at the Spring House Overlook, we have several of the Chinese witch hazel, which is the Hamamelis mollis, and it is the most fragrant of the Asian witch hazels. We also have Japanese witch hazel. We have one behind me that has the flowers on it, and that is the Hamamelis japonica. We have three types of North American witch hazels on the property. The most common witch hazel is the Virginia native, Hamamelis virginiana, and then we have the Mississippi native, the Hamamelis ovalis. Then we have the Ozark native, which is the Hamamelis vernalis, and we have an example of the Ozark native here, losing most of its leaves already. So here we have a cross of the Chinese and Japanese witch hazels, the Winter Beauty Hamamelis intermedia. And it is just starting to bloom. It again has some yellow blooms, but it has a red calyx if you look really close at it, so you'll have to come visit. It has more little buds for flowers, tons of little buds. It still has its leaf on it. It has leaf buds on it, and there's seed pods still on them. As I talked about earlier, we've got our fruit along with our flower. And the seed pods contain 2 seeds in them that burst open and can spread as far as 30 feet from the tree. So the witch hazel is a long blooming plant, which also makes it great, especially in the winter time, because it can bloom up to 8 weeks. And during that time period, if there's a cold spell, the little spider-like flower just curls up, and then it unfurls on the warm days. So the warm days is when you can smell it the best, and the warm days are when they're wide open. So please come visit us on any of those warm winter days and smell the beautiful fragrance of the witch hazel.